You could do either.
Right, there we go. Hi, girls. Morning to you all. Thank you so much for joining on this Thursday morning. Everyone got their coffee? Yum, yum.
Mm.
Good, good. Right, lots to go through. And the aim of this gathering is for you all to say hello to each other and to get you organized. Okay, so I'm trying to steer off 101 questions before you go. Okay, so the plan is I'm going to rattle through the itinerary, ask questions. I'm going to rattle through, stop, ask questions, rattle through, stop, ask questions. Yeah, so we get a bit of a flow. So we're going to go through the itinerary. Then we're going to do the really gnarly bit, which is everyone's flights and logistics, which I think I've got on top of, but you're all coming at different times. And then packing, money, da 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 da. Okay, so
Yeah.
that is the plan of action. So I'm just going to get the you don't need to look at this, but I'm just going to look at the itinerary just as my prompt. So the plan is you are going to, as you know, to one, two, three, four locations. Okay. Each one is a huge contrast. Each one has they're just so that the word contrast is what this is all about. So the pace of this trip is fast, it's dynamic, and I know at times you're all going to say, Jesus, I'm exhausted. So you're just gonna go with it, okay? Because at the end you do get downtime, but there is so much to do, and the distances. Oh, here's Dee Dee. Hold on. The distances are huge, so you're just going to when they say you're getting up at 5 o'clock to get that bus, you're just going to go, oh, great, great. Looking forward to it. Okay, because you can sleep on the whole way. So there is a pace, and it is quite gnarly at times. Dee Dee, are you there? No, Dee Dee isn't there.
Hi, Millie. It's Dee Dee. Sorry, it took me a while to get in.
Oh, you
Met
are
your
there. Brilliant.
passwords.
There you are. Nice to see you.
Here I am.
Okay, Dee Dee, we're recording this and we're just starting to go through the itinerary. So I've just said four different
Okay.
locations, pacey, busy. Okay. So starting you're all going to arrive at some time. We're coming back to your arrivals, but on that Tuesday, you are all going to be picked up from the hotel or from the airport. Okay. And then you're going to go on the lovely scenic drive all the way to Barachara. Now, for those, this scenic drive it is scenic. It really is beautiful because you're accessing the canyons, this big, vast area. I call it the Big Bad Canyon Lands. No one else does, of course, but you'll get why when you're there. The vistas are huge. Downside, windy roads. Any of you that suffer from car sickness, you're to get your pills ready, okay? And you're to just say, stick your hand up and say, I suffer from car sickness, so you'll need to sit at the front of the bus, okay? When I was there were a couple of people that didn't, and then it all went pear-shaped. So front of the bus for you guys, take your pills and just enjoy the view. Look forward. It should take about 3.5 to 4 hours to get there, but you're going to, with a big stop in the middle, where you're going to stop at this crazy place everybody stops at, and you will have a random lunch. There is no choice, but you get given this random lunch of local Santander food, which is really tasty, but it's like, oh my God, is this what they all eat here? And they do. It's kind of heavy potatoes and gravy, and it's all very weird, but it's your first intro to Santander food. But that's all you can get, and that's the only place you can stop, but it's worth it for the view. Okay. Then you're going to get to the hotel sometime kind of early mid afternoon. and there'll be a lovely intro there. You'll meet all the guides, and it will be utter heaven. So when you're, I'll come back. So you'll be with Josie or Brendan, are your two main guides, and one of them will meet you at the hotel or at the airport, and they will be escorting you on that bus. So you're not doing it alone. But when you get to the hotel, you're going to meet everyone. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So that afternoon, you're just going to settle in and poke about, unpack, and then Josie has a lovely little surprise for you, which I'm not going to tell you about, but it's a wonderful surprise. And then she whisks you off to look at the amazing view, which is this really steep cliff, great photo opportunity, and you can see all the way. She'll explain the whole region, and the whole region used to be on the Camino, Spanish Camino way. So she'll explain it. All these white villages were linked up back in the day as part of the trading routes, all the way from South America up to the Caribbean coast. So it's really interesting. So you can get from that viewpoint a real feeling for the area. So that night she got a little surprise. Then you're going to go up for supper, and then you're going to get to bed and crash. Ready for the next morning. The next morning, you're going to go to lovely Micaiah's house. She's a great friend of Josie's. She's very holistic. She's got this crazy house in the middle of the woods, just on the outskirts of Barachara. She's gorgeous, and she practices a gong bath. Have you ever had anyone had a gong bath?
No.
Okay, it's really nice. You basically have a lie down, and she plays these gongs, and it's all about the vibrations and this music. It's really lovely. She is also an amazing masseuse. So if any of you wanting to have a massage, she's one to book in for. So you'll meet her, then you'll go with everybody for a hike out directly from her house all the way through this amazing part of the old Camino walk, which are these cobbled roads, which you'll see intersect the whole countryside. For hundreds and hundreds of years old, this particular road. It's a gentle hike, 6.57 kilometers to go to another one of the whitewashed villages called Guan. I can't pronounce it, but you get the gist. And that is another beautiful, pretty town. On the way, Brendan and his team are going to meet you with a lovely picnic. And it's just a kind of stretch out. It's not a taxing hike. It is not. But it's your first day with a bit of jet lag. It will be good for you.
Millie, what sort of temperatures are we thinking on this part?
Gorgeous temperatures.
Gorgeous,
Yeah, no,
obviously.
absolutely gorgeous. Barachara is perfect temperature. It's sunny, it's dry, it's crisp and hot.
Okay.
So it's just
I'm just thinking in terms of hiking gear, so it's shorts rather than big long leggings. Are you
well,
thinking?
we wore long pants, long thin trousers, and a shirt.
Okay.
Then after this, you're gonna go back home, fiddle about. You've probably got a couple of hours of downtime. That's it. Before you'll be whisked away to another one of Josie's friends who owns this amazing cigar making place. So
Amazing.
there's a cocktail bar, which is really nice. But beside it, it's they make cigars. And he shows you all the history of it, the cigar making. You can roll your own, and then you can, if you want, actually buys the cigars in a beautiful box. The whole thing is absolutely stunning and slightly crazy, but that's what you're going to see. Barachara is one of those so off-grid yet full of stylish, creative people. That's what is just like so crazy. So anyway, you're going to have a cigar moment, and then you're going to go out for supper. The next day, you're going to be up bright and breezy, and you're going to go to the community reforestation project. And what you're beginning to see at this stage is that Barachara is run by the community. So the community is really, really tight. They really help each other. That's why it's safe, it's gorgeous. There's no, well, I'm sure the mafia, do still exist, in the, not the, in the background, but they it's got a wonderful community vibe. And you'll see that there's a big square in the middle where all the kids from school come and play, and everybody sits out in the cafes there, and everybody knows everybody and looks out for everybody. So all the community on the outskirts of the land of the town is community land which has been damaged over the years, and everybody is hands-on to bring this back to how it used to be. The fire brigade, for one, are hugely involved in this, and every LEAP group that goes there helps plant. I mean, and we've planted thousands of saplings. I mean, thousands of them. So you're going to continue with our great work. That's in the morning. Then in the afternoon, you're going to meet the lovely Marguerite. Now, she is one of those women this is your main project. And this is what I'm really excited about. And the potential here is absolutely huge. And you are hopefully going to be part of something really special. When we were there, the backstory of Marguerite is that she's lived there for a long, long time, part of the community, and the women, one of the women projects that she supports, make leather goods such as these. Okay, these types of things. They're very creative, the people there, and she and their leather, where their little factory was completely destroyed in a storm, in a flood, and so she decided that she'd give up her home, and it is now Casa Commune, which is the community home. Honestly, she's one of those people. It's the most stylish, beautiful home. I don't know where she's moved out to, but somewhere else. And so she set up a shop there where all the local ladies from around the surrounding area can come and sell their produce to all the stylish people that come to Baracara for 6 months of the year. So people that from the outskirts, all the local ladies, they sell their honey, they make table mats, all sorts of goodies that she sells. And she's got this system. If you're local, you pay this price. If you are living there for 6 months, you pay this price. If you're a tourist, you pay this price. Honestly, it's brilliant. Anyway, what we discussed when we were with her last time is that these ladies, they make fantastic things, but they don't sell. So they all helped us make this little thing. It's a little pouch. You're supposed to squeeze your phone in it, and we all made one, and we all thought, yes, it's absolutely gorgeous, but no one has actually ever used it. So what Marguerite wants us to do is to help the ladies make things which are actually more practical and more saleable to the tourists. That's our plan. And it's very, very simple. So they have a certain style. They have all the equipment that you can use, all access to leather, different colors, shades, and it's like this simple bag. If I don't use it because it's really annoying, if this was much longer, I could wear it across the body. If it was a little fatter, I could put my phone, keys, and a card in there. So it's project number one is adapting this thing into something which would be more useful, which would sell, which will help them in the long run. And if we like them, then the LEAP are going to start importing them.
Oh.
So that's your challenge. So Gabby, who isn't on here, she has a particularly nice bag, which I spotted last week. Your APC bag, Gabby, when you're watching this, I'd like you to take that with you because it's a simple strap, crossbody strap. It's a little bit deeper than this, but it would give them an idea of just inspire them. So when you're rummaging at home before you're going and you think, oh God, that actually is the most useful bag that I've got, and it would be so simple to replicate and make, could you either take photos or pop it in your bag?
It's just bags they're looking to do.
Yeah, it's just bags. That's their main thing. But when you're there, you'll see that they do table mats. They're actually really
Mm.
good and really, but it's predominantly the leather goods.
But they can't do the leather into other things.
Yes, they can make leather into
Yeah,
other things.
yeah. So not just bags. So yeah.
If you've got any kind of simple things that you think, God, that's good, they've got access to leather, stitching, um, masses of glue, masses of cutters, they've got access to all of that. They just don't have the international um, awareness of what people, outside Barachara want.
Yeah.
I mean, mainly it's something for your phone, isn't it? That's easy and is because most of us don't carry wallets and purses anymore. It's like phone and keys. That's all you need nowadays.
See, this is the main thing that the other thing that they all use out there. They
Yeah,
use
big
these
bags.
little bags, which you'll have seen lots of Colombian people, companies import these. So they've got access to this as well. But those are pretty simple. So it's more the kind of leather, but you'll see, if you added maybe one of these straps to that, how cool would that be? Anyway, you're going to be divided up into a few little groups. You're going to have a few little ladies with you, and you're going to just creatively spark it out. And then the following day, you're going to go back and start building it. Then you're going to leave, if time, if you leave it and say, right, that's what you're going to build, then they'll carry on building it, making it, and then they'll send it down to you when you get to Cartagena at the end. So
Oh, wow.
it's all possible. So that's your challenge, girls. Women's empowerment, helping them actually make something that sells.
Just on the bag you floated at us just now, what's that made of?
Leather.
Okay, because leather's quite heavy. No, no, not that one, the other one.
Oh, that's made out of, that is a fiber that they get there. Literally, this is what they make the table mats and everything out of. It's really scratchy, but it's
Like
really,
a jute, probably, like a
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought about. Because it's a bit less heavy as an
this
alternative
this one.
stream of design. Oh, it looks like they've probably got that sorted.
Yeah, this one is the other thing that they make out of cotton or wool.
Okay.
You're going to see these absolutely everywhere. Oh, okay. Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Great, great. That's good thing. So hopefully at the aim, we would really like to be part of Marguerite's mission, and you'll realize that she is on a mission, and the leap, ultimately I'd really like to help all these women empowerment centers around the world that we're supporting by bringing their stuff to the UK. And the schools that we're now supporting are then going to sell them as part of their fundraising. It's another one of my harebrained ideas, but it's
No,
there.
great.
There.
I've got ideas already.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that. While you're with Marguerite, all of you are going to, one of the specialities out in Colombia are the big bottomed ants. Okay. You have to try them. Okay. Marguerite will go through the whole thing, and they're absolute delicacy out there, and they're utterly delicious. So get over the fact that it's an ant and just go for it, because they really are delicious. And you want to eat them at Marguerite's house because she cooks them in a really beautiful way, and it's I want to hear that you've all tried it and no one's chickened out. Okay?
everyone's faces are funny.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Yes, you are.
I know I read that yesterday and thought, oh,
Yeah, the big bottom rant is what you need. Anyway, so moving on, that's your project, and then when you are finished there, then that is it. So the restaurants in the kind of how it works. So describing the hotel. So that's your kind of activities. Describing the hotel there. It's the best you've got in Barachara, where you've got space. It looks lovely. It is lovely. It's a lovely hotel. But I don't want this is going to be really tricky. For Claire, who's come from Peru, you're going to be thinking, this is amazing, because Claire roughed it in their homestays in Peru. And then those that have been on with us in Sri Lanka are going to think, this isn't quite Takanda Lodge. So you're somewhere in the middle, girls. Okay, this, Colombia isn't that squeaky when it comes to hotels out of the kind of main area. In Cartagena, you've got really flash hotels, but in Barachara, there are not. But it's a lovely, friendly local hotel. You're in shared bedrooms. It's kind of delicious breakfast. That's the only thing you're going to be eating there. Pool, easy peasy. Okay.
Just a question, Millie, on the bedrooms.
Yes.
We all have a bed each. We're not sharing beds, right?
You're not sharing a bed.
I'm just checking because there's a lot of places that have family rooms.
No,
That's the type.
No. So what will happen is in some of the rooms there will be twin beds, in some of the rooms there will be a big double bed and a single bed.
Okay.
But no, you're not sharing a mattress.
Good.
You get a bathroom or?
Oh yeah, ensuite bathroom.
Oh,
all
wow,
very
that's pretty
nice.
good.
Yes, I know, Jude.
Not so rough.
Treating you to an ensuite. So that's the lovely hotel, and it's just easy to wander around from there, access to everything. Breakfast and lunch is included, and then supper is not. And you've got 4 nights. Anyway, they're going to take you to their kind of the best restaurants, and my favorite one is Alvi, which is at the end. Absolutely amazing. The food in Colombia is actually stunning. So it is a culinary delight to eat. If you go to the local cafes at lunchtime, you're going to eat kind of weird, you can eat weird Santander food, because that is what they do. They like their kind of pie and mash equivalent. Okay. But we're not, that's what we ate a lot of. We're not giving you that, apart from on the first day when there is no choice, up to Barachara on the windy road. Everything else, you're going to be going to cafes and just having something much lighter. But in the evening, you're going to go to the restaurants, which are utterly delicious. Now, I would be saying, how do you budget for that? I would say that each night probably costs us $30 to $40, but that completely depends on how much everybody drinks. And what we did is we ran a kitty. So I had a little extra bag, and we all just put $100 in at a time, and one person worked with that. But please be mindful of those that don't drink, and it's the drinking that we had to be very careful of that, because on my group we had some big drinkers and we had some that didn't drink, so we had to kind of that's just one thing to be mindful of.
And I noticed you referred to dollars. Is dollars the currency we should take? Oh.
No. You're going to get it. I talk in dollars because you get a dollar price just for kind of ease of reference, but you pay everything in local currency.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll come to the currency in the ATMs in a bit. Okay.
Perfect.
So that is stage 1. Stage 2 is your move to the coast, your move north. Annoyingly, you're going to have to go all the way back down to Bucaramanga, fly to Bogota to Santa Marta. It's a beast of a journey, but you're going to get up really, really early, 5 a.m. You're going to hope you'll sleep. Well, we all slept the whole way down to the airport, and then it's a little flight. Bogota airport, really nice. And then it's another 1-hour flight to Santa Marta. Then when you get to Santa Marta, it's an hour and a half's drive to get to the Jungle Lodge. So because of the national park closure, we've just flipped over. Okay. So you've got 2 nights on the beach and then 1 night inside the national park. This whole area is called Torona. So it's a big area right from the coast all the way up to the Sierra Nevada mountains. But the national park is a little zone within that. Okay, so you're going to go to stay at a coast, stay on the beach for 2 nights. So when you get there, you're just going to flop. Okay, there's nothing asked of you after that journey. The next day, you're going to start exploring the area. And the first way you're going to explore it is by boat, meandering through the river. And the river you're going to kind of go inland, and then the river goes all the way down to the sea. It's really beautiful. There's amazing beaches there with a few kind of little shacks where you can get coconut water, and they're going to arrange to have a picnic on one of those beaches. It's really beautiful. So that's your kind of first day of exploring the area and the wildlife. And it's a Sunday when you're going to do this. And it's really crazy where you get the boat from. When you get the boat, it's really quiet. When you come back, every single Colombian has come there to party. Okay, so it's party central where the boat where you get on the boat and you depart from the boat. So you'll really see local Colombian life. They set up their barbecues, they've got their floaties, they've got bottles of whiskey, they really know how to enjoy a Sunday. So you'll see all that. Then you'll go back to the coast, to your beachside little hotel, getting ready for the next day when you're going to do the hike to inside the national park. Okay, so we're going to come back to clothes, so we won't talk about the gear now because we're doing that later. But this is going to be hot and sweaty, and this is the little challenge. You can all do this. So the challenge is you're going to be driven to the edge of the national park, the kind of back entrance. Everybody has to pay 1,000,000 pesos. I'll explain what that is when you're there. It's about $10. It's £8. But everyone has to personally pay that. That's part of the thing. You have to literally give it. No travel agent can do it on anyone's behalf. It's a personal thing. So it's like kind of a gift to the national park. It's probably a complete scam, and they put it in their back pocket. But anyway, it's how it rolls. Then you're going to walk in, and you're on a kind of on a track to begin with, and then you step off grid, and then you're wandering through the national park, and you've got a guide. So it's all very, very easy. And this is when I really ask you, those that have done the Midlife before, that everyone loves to chat. This is when we literally had no one's going to chat. Everyone's going to walk in peace, because when you're in that jungle, the sound of the howler monkeys and everything, and the birds and the parrots and everything is really, really vibrant. So the quieter you are, the more you're going to get out of it. Okay. So one of you's just got to take control and say, it's time to zip the chat. And
we'll just say, Millie said no talk.
Yeah, no talking in this. It's really special. Then eventually what you're walking towards is the coast. And eventually you see it through the jungle canopy, and it's just like, oh, there it is. There's the beach. So you get down to the beach, and Brendan's and then you'll see there are quite a few tourists there, and that's not where you want to be. So Brendan's arranged for a private boat, and you're going to hop on that, and he's going to whiz you out to an area still within the national park, which is really secluded and really special. So that's where you're going to have another picnic. Honestly, Brenda's very good at knocking up a picnic. So that's where you're going to have lunch, and then you're going to come back, and then you've got two choices. Okay, the walk on is another hour and a half, 2 hours. Okay, quite flat now. So you've done the up and down bit. So you could do an hour and a half flattish walk, or you can hire a pony to take you out. And now but you've got to be able to ride to do that. So if you can ride and you're confident on a horse, do it. If you are not, don't do it, because they are quite, I mean, my lot, there was one girl who said, yeah, I can ride. She really couldn't. And these horses, they have a mind of their own. So, they just like, they know where they're going and they're on a mission. So you've got to feel and you're following this little path and they're going up and down round rocks. It's really lovely to do. And I highly recommend it, but only if you know how to handle a horse. Okay. So, and you don't need to decide that until you're there.
You're not very confident. It's probably not a good idea then.
If you're not confident, I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
But it's confidence, and if you can do it, then go for it.
And how long are you on the horse for?
Oh, probably about 45 minutes to an hour. So it's just a different experience.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you don't overthink it. You can worry. You can literally make the decision at that exact moment after the boat. And you can look at the horses and think, is that for me? No. Or, yeah. I know you've got loads of guides. Brendan's a brilliant rider. If Santi's with you, then that's just heaven. That's a thing. That's a lovely thing to watch. You'll fell in love with, but I don't think. But Brendan is just like, yeah, no, I'm there this time. So anyway, they're all fantastic. The guides, absolutely fantastic. Okay, so that's your Torona bit. Okay, then you're up early again, girls. I know it's another early spark. Early bird catches the worm, as they say. So now you're getting up early, and then you're zipping along the coast, which is another 3 hours, 3 hours to get to Cartagena. But you're not going to go into Cartagena on this particular day. You're going to see it, you're going to wave, you're going to acknowledge it, but you're going straight to the harbour, and the boats will be waiting for you to zip you out to the Caribbean islands. Okay, now it's probably an hour's boat ride. And when you're there, they're going to take you to all the narcos' houses, which are now completely empty, just deserted. It's just so interesting. You can see all these areas on the front where all their guards with their machine guns would have stood. It's really interesting. Anyway, there's no one there now, just a few monkeys making themselves at home. And then you're going to get to your little hotel, which is so sweet. Now it's quite rustic. Yep. So it's a rustic little island, and it's got Popeye who runs it. I'm sure she's still there. You'll know exactly who I mean when you see her. She's very bossy, tiny little thing, skinny as you like, with a crazy hairdo that goes up, and she looks after you. So it's a really, really happy little vibe. It's a tiny island. It's got about 6 or 7 little houses, rooms on it, and a kind of open air cafe, restaurant. Just it's heaven, but it's not swish, it's rustic. Okay, you all got that in your head. It's rustic vibe. Now, when you're here, you can do absolutely nothing. You can literally rest up, put your feet up, and do diddly squat. But if you want to do a little bit more, the next day we went round with Josie to meet another friend of hers who runs this great hostel and a marine conservation project. And it's just really interesting. I liked it because it's just interesting to meet these crazy people that are just doing great things in the middle, across the world. And she'll just show you the before and after, take you out on the boat. What they do every day is a group of them and loads of students go out there to clean the ground, clean this coral, clean the coral of this weed, which is suffocating it. And you can try yourself how hard it is to go up and down, snorkeling to remove it. Just meet her, understand it, and then you go literally around that's where all the narcos houses are, and you see that. So it's just a nice little outing, but you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But I would. Okay. Then you're going to, after that, the next day, you're going to zip it back to Cartagena, and Cartagena is your final place. Now, Cartagena is utterly stunning. Okay, yes, it is the Queen of the Caribbean, and you really can see why. It is the most amazing fort with lovely winding streets, colorful houses, amazing shopping. It's stunning, stunning, stunning. So you've got the fort, and then outside it, I think is a more interesting area, which is the artsy area, which has got the area where you've got murals all over the walls, and you've got umbrellas, hanging from all the from the rooftops. So your hotel is the Osh Hotel, which is literally just outside the fort. And we've chosen that hotel because it's bigger, it's got more space. The hotels right in the fort are really cramped. They're like the old fashioned, like what you would expect in Morocco, tiny, tiny with a tiny little pool in the middle. And it's just like at this stage, you just need space. So you're in the Osh Hotel, it's modern. It's great, actually. I really liked it. And we particularly like it because you're in the artsy area. So you can go into tourist land in the fort, and then you can come back to the cool, hip, artsy area. Now, what Josie loves to do, and I'll talk more about Brendan and Josie. Josie loves her salsa. She absolutely loves it. And she can get access to a private salsa club. So she will be trying to persuade you right up until this moment to join her in the private salsa club. And so if you want to go, she'll arrange that on one of the nights. But if you don't, it doesn't matter. Half of us did, half of us didn't. Half of us went in, thought, no, it's not for us, and then left. It's a crazy salsa. You got to learn how to move, like how to kind of salsa move. Anyway, so one night she's going to take us, I think, have supper inside the fort on a rooftop restaurant looking out, which is splendid. Another night, we went to a salsa show, which was quite interesting. But none of that. You don't need to make any of those decisions now until you're there, and they'll describe what the options are. But there's lots to do. But it is touristy, so it is going to blow your mind, because Barachara is the most untouristy place in the world. The Tirona, it's really calm. The island is just you lot and maybe a couple of others in the other rooms. And then bang, you're in Cartagena. It's like, wow. So let's just hope there isn't a cruise ship, because you do get cruise ships that pull up. We're lucky not to, but you'll see what I mean when you're there. It's stunning, but it's touristy. And you don't really want to do any shopping there. So all these bags that I've been showing you, and the the thing that everybody bought were the bags and amazing table mats, all made out of that harsh material. You want to buy it in Barachara because it's literally a fraction of the price. Like this bag in Barachara would be about $20, $30. In Cartagena, $120. So buy early, not to be disappointed. Okie dokie.
Yep.
Then that's it. Then you go home. Job done. Okay, so that's your thing. It's pacey. It's got it's just different experiences throughout. Every day is going to be different, and it. When I was writing the itinerary, I was like, oh God, I'm so jealous. You're gonna have it's
Amazing.
But what really will make it for you are Brendan and Josie, who I have worked with for, I don't know, 15 years. They used to run, Josie's Venezuelan. Brendan is from Cheshire. I know you can't script it. But Brendan has lived in South America for the last 25 years. He met Josie in Venezuela when they ran our Venezuelan project 20 years ago. That's where they met. Anyway, when Venezuela all went tits up, they hopped over to Colombia and they based themselves in Barachara, and that's where they've been. They've got, I think, 4 children, but their children aren't there. They're in Ireland. You can't script it. What they've been up to in the last year is crazy, and they've made random decisions. Anyway, he's been in Ireland while Josie's been in Colombia, but Brendan is the kids are coming back to Colombia at Christmas time. So all shall be well. But anyway, you won't meet the kids, but Brendan and Josie, utterly, they're heaven. Josie's bonkers. She's just bonkers, more energy than you can imagine. She's going to give you, when you're in Barachara or throughout, if you want to do morning yoga, she is there to do it. Half the group did in Barachara. They did it every morning on the rooftop with her. And it's just before breakfast. Any type of yoga, half an hour, totally up to you what you do, but she is there. What we love doing, which make sure she does when you're on the island in the Caribbean, on the Rosario Island, is there's this great rickety old jetty, and we all did yoga there one night. That was lovely as the sun was going down. So you just have to grab her and make her do these things. She's got more energy than you can imagine, so she never says no. So anyway, Brendan and Josie, they're going to be with you throughout, but they're going to be pulling in all their friends at different stages to help, with all the logistics. So you're going to meet some really interesting people. Right. So any questions on the itinerary?
I just had one.
Yeah.
That you said, it was ages ago I booked this flight. When we come back from Bucaramanga and go to Santa Marta, I've just written down Bucaramanga to Santa Marta. Does that flight go via Bogota then?
Yes.
Oh, phew. I think I booked the wrong flight. That's fine.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it does you don't get your bags. I think you get on and off the same plane, but it just stops.
I thought I was getting on the wrong plane. That's fine.
Yeah.
Good.
Bogota Airport's really swish. I mean, it's really nice.
So when we arrive on the first night and then we're staying at the Marriott, is that just walkable out of the hotel?
No, I'm going to come to that. We're going to pick you up. So going back to the early logistics of the arrival. So Northern Lot and Jude, you are all flying in, and you arrive on that Tuesday morning, don't you? You do. I know you do, because I've got the logistics. I just haven't got it open in front of my head. So everybody is going to be picked up from the airport in Bucaramanga. Okay. So as soon as you come out, you're going to see a sign saying, the Leap. You get in that bus and you go to your hotel, whatever time of day it is, and you all get in at different times, apart from the Jude and the 4 Northerners on that Tuesday morning. Okay. So everybody else who arrives on the Monday in Bucaramanga, again, you're going to be picked up. Now your Brendan is arranging. He didn't get back to me. He was going to arrange. Let me just see if he's got the thing. You arrive about 6:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay? So the time you come through will be about 7:30. There will be a little a bus waiting for you to take you to the hotel. Now he's trying to arrange early check-in for you, so we'll just let you know what's going to happen with that. Okay. So that's all. You don't need to worry about changing money or anything at this point in time. Okay.
And is it worth looking around back there on that?
Yeah, you could do. You could do. Josie's going to be there and come and find you at the hotel, and then maybe if you're all feeling up to it, take you out to a nice little restaurant in the evening.
Okay. Because sometimes it's worth powering through with these things, when you've had a we'll see how we feel, I guess.
Yes. Well, I'll get Brendan and Josie to give a kind of top things to do.
Yeah, that'd be great. And how we move around, because obviously it's the first time in a country, so you just want to make sure you're being safe, I guess.
Yeah. Now, the first thing you're going to do when you arrive and you've got spare time is go to the ATM, okay? Because everybody wants local currency. They don't want dollars, and they definitely don't want pounds. Okay. So I always think it's good practice to have a few dollars on you just in case. So I would have a $50 note shoved in your bag just as backup, emergency. Because if there was an emergency, everybody does accept dollars. It's just their preference is the local pesos, which I can't remember what the exchange rate is, but they deal in millions. Okay. It's like 1 million pesos to the pound. So everyone shortens it to 100 or whatever it is. So what you want to do is maybe go with a friend to the ATM, because it is quite confusing. Don't try and use the ATMs at the airport in Bogota. Well, you can, but some of them work, some of them didn't, and you can get into all sorts of a panic. Did that work? Well, that's what happened to me. Did that work? Have I lost, 300 quid because nothing came out? And if you're not Spanish speaking and you don't know what you're doing, it can be really stressful. So I would just wait until you get to Bucaramanga to get the money out, or Barachara. Okay. But it is quite complicated. It says, credit or debit, and use debit, not credit. It's have any of you got a Monzo card or a Starling, those free, which they don't charge you on getting money out of the ATM.
Yeah.
We'll get one.
No.
That's really useful to get, because you'll be going to the ATM little and often. Well, often to get little, $100 out at a time, because no one likes to walk around. No one should walk around with loads of cash on them.
And there's no, I guess tap and go isn't. I thought that was okay.
So, some places in the nice restaurants, tap and go, yes, yeah, absolutely. Well, not tap and go.
Yeah. But you
But
can't.
in all the little shops, the cafes, going out for coffee, you want to use local currency, because that's what they prefer.
Okay.
Okay.
You recommend a particular card with these free ones?
Monzo or Starling, whatever's the simplest to get hold of, and they're really quick to get hold of.
Not Revolut.
Oh yeah, or Revolut.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Mhm.
The next thing is your visas, entry into the country. Okay. What I want you to have is proof of your return flight at the ready. Okay. You're probably not going to be asked for it, but it would be but part of the requirements to enter Colombia is proof of leaving Colombia. And they do this in Peru as well. And most of the time they don't ask for evidence of when are you leaving, but occasionally they do. So you want to just have it after a long haul flight at the ready to whip out to say, this is when I'm leaving. This is my flight. Okay. And you don't need a visa, but you do. I'm going to be sending you the week before you go the details of this weird little pass that you have to do. You just plug in your details, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. It just means when you get to immigration, it will take longer. Okay, but I will send you that details in the last week, and you cannot do it until the 72 hours before you're going. Okay, so you have to wait to the last minute. And it is quite stressful, because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Everyone gets their knickers in a right twist. So, brace yourself for that. It's kind of bad. It's a bad system. But it doesn't matter if you don't get the email, because that's what it should send you as an email. And I'd say 50% of people don't get it. But you're not going to.
And given that it's so close, is that 72 hours before arriving or leaving? Sorry, that's a very anal question.
Oh dear, I like that question. I would say departing.
Okay.
Okay. So that, all right. And now we're going to just go through what to pack. You are getting on and off buses the whole time. You have got to be able to manage, carry, drag your own luggage. Okay. So what I'm trying to avoid is what happened last time when people were taking luggage, which was literally enough to carry their entire family inside it. It was unwieldy. It didn't fit into the bus. It made everyone's the bus, it was a disaster. So what I'm asking you is to take little luggage in a bag. I would say an 80 litre to 100 maximum size bag, which is soft-sided. It can have one fixed side because if you've got the handle that comes out and it's on wheels, but the other three sides are soft. Okay? I do not want a hard case suitcase. All right? Now, clothes, it is a tricky one. When you're in Barachara, it's dry heat. When you're at the coast in Tirona, it's sweaty heat. So I've put on here a selection of lightweight trousers and shorts. When you're in Barachara, you're going to be wearing shorts, lightweight trousers, for the hike, or shorts, shirts, t-shirts. It's nothing fancy, for just hanging around. Maybe a pair of yoga trousers if you're going to do yoga with Josie. And then what is useful for the evenings is a little lightweight something, jacket, shawl, scarf, because the temperature can drop. Might not drop, but it can do because you're in the mountains. Now, the vibe in the evening is, yeah, you'll want to feel nice. You'll want to it's kind of kaftan cool, kaftan chic. I would say that is what the vibe is. But clearly I don't have that. So I was always wearing a pair of kind of linen trousers and a shirt. That was my uniform of the day. I did pop in 2 little dresses for Cartagena. But what I don't want you is all to think, oh my God, I've got to take, 100 dresses, and you're not. You're recycling. Okay? But in fact, I don't care what you take, but all I do care is that it's a smallish bag, no bigger than 100 liters. Okay? 80 to 100. In addition to that, what is really useful for the hike in Tirona and for just bobbing about is a day rucksack. And what I want you to have for Tirona is a water bladder. Now, do you know what I mean by water bladder?
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of 1.5 litre, like Claire, what you had in Peru, that slides in, because the water in Colombia is something that you definitely do not drink. And so you want to, on that trek, to have as much water as you can possibly carry. And that's the lightest way to carry it. So you need a water bottle and a water bladder in your day rucksack.
How, on the water thing, do you need to clean your teeth in bottled water?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah. So at the hotel, you'll just get a bottle of water to stick by, that's, and usually I take risks with this, and I did take a risk in Colombia, and it hit me hard. And the other place is where you do not drink water, where we all got really ill from. I don't know if you got ill from this, Claire, but in Bogota Airport, they have those fountains, water fountains to refill. Do not use those. Okay, you're buying water all the way.
Right.
Okay, let me just look at working pair of sturdy little gardening gloves for when you're doing the reforestation. Plug adapter, it's American style. Sunglasses, portable phone charger if you need one for the long car journeys, but you might not. Every day, are you going to see lots of mozzies? Well, you won't see any really in Barachara, but you might when you're at the jungle, at the beach. So just a bit of mozzie spray.
We're not malaria, are we?
No, antihistamines are always useful. Imodium, of course, is always useful.
Someone told me
So for
sand.
the
Sorry.
sorry, for the jungle walk, would you recommend long sleeves then if it's mosquitoes around, or does it matter?
I don't think it matters because it's hot and really sweaty. So most of
Okay.
us walked in a kind of uh vest top,
Yeah. Okay.
but then just make sure it's comfortable with your rucksack.
Yeah.
Because when you're sweaty, everything rubs and gets sore.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone
And
told
the
me
towel,
flies are a big thing there.
The what?
Sand flies. Someone who'd been to Colombia should it's you've got to watch the sand flies. They really when you're on the beach. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
well, maybe don't. That's not a thing then. She
No,
just
dude, it could have been at a certain beach, it's a certain
yeah
time of year. You
yeah. Maybe
never
just
know.
insect repellent will do it.
Yeah, it could be.
The
would
other thing
you
I was going to say was the trail shoes you say for the hikes. Is
Really.
trainers okay? You don't mean like proper walking boots?
Yeah, not proper walking boots.
Okay,
No,
just
I'd
trainers.
say a pair of trainers which are quite sturdy.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
got a bit of a, grippy sole, but trainers are fine.
Okay, good.
would you recommend longish socks if there are ticks and stuff or
No,
something?
no, you're absolutely fine because you're walking on a path, so you're not cutting through, and it's not like in Sri Lanka where there's loads of those wiggly things. What were they called? Leeches. You're not gonna
It
get that.
is lovely.
It's not a leech infested place. No, so there's nothing hardcore or horrid to avoid. You just need, for that hike, the main things is hat, um, suntan lotion, but you don't need that much because you're under the jungle canopy. The main thing to really focus on is whatever I wear with the rucksack, is it going to rub as I'm sweating? And if I'm going to ride a horse, can I
Leggings.
slip into my rucksack a long pair of trousers or something to slip on for the ride home?
Yeah.
But Josie will go through that detail, what to pack on and what you need on each particular day. So we're not going to get bogged down with that.
I did one of those beach rides years ago in Mauritius. And you would think, oh, it's going to be so lovely. And it was the most uncomfortable horse ride I've ever had in my life. The saddle was so ancient and it was so sweaty that it was just hell. So just yeah. They're not always as comfortable as it's in this country. So
No, they're not.
leggings or trousers, definitely.
Yeah, you're in kind of Western saddles, so that actually
Right, they're probably better, yeah.
the
Yeah.
saddle is comfortable, but the horse is not. It's not a
Yeah.
nice ride. It's a bobby ride,
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Okay. One
Just
thing,
looking at the towel, is that a towel for
beach towel.
the beach?
Yeah,
It
towel.
says towel
Yeah,
from.
I
Is that a beach? Okay.
change that now. Beach towel.
Just something to sit on.
Yeah.
Dry yourself.
Yes. So when you'll need something to sit on when on the day of the trek, when you go round for the picnic on Brendan's magical mystery tour to the private beach, something to sit on the beach there, and you'll have your swimmers in your bag that put on, and the water's glorious.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I've sent you a link to this brochure because it's therefore I can keep adding to it if I get different thoughts. The one thing that I have changed, as Brendan confirmed this morning, is when you are at Torona, brace yourself, it's 3 to a bedroom on your own mattress. But those are kind of the configuration of.
Is that the Eco Lodge, is it?
Yeah, the Eco Lodge. Well, they're all called eco lodges. The 2 nights at the beach and 1 night in the jungle. But they're really nice. Really nice.
Can I just talk about snoring?
Oh yes, do share.
Nora, I'm just going to put that out there. I don't know. I guess these people snore. I was whoever I end up sharing a room with, but I was wondering if anyone wanted to take earplugs. It might.
Earplugs is actually a really useful thing to take per se.
You
It
can
is.
share with me, Michelle, because apparently I snore. I mean, I deny
Want
it.
to,
Apparently I do.
but we'll cancel each other out.
Have you
Good.
tried
Very good.
surgical tape? It's what my sister does. You just buy the really cheap surgical tape in Boots and you just put it like that across your mouth and it just keeps your mouth shut. You still
Yeah,
breathe, but you
I
just
don't snore with my mouth open.
do.
Anyway, that's too much detail. You'll know me intimately by the end of this, I'm sure.
Yep, you definitely will know each other intimately by the end of
Earplugs.
this adventure. Okay, so I think that is everything that
Talking of that, what about laundry? Do you wash
Oh, you can. I would be washing
just washing clothes?
washing your pants as you go in the shower and hanging it out. That's what we all did. But at the hotel in Barachara, you could get laundry done. At the beach at Tirona, you could probably get a place laundry done in every place, but it's whether you've got
I
time.
don't mind doing it myself. It's just yeah, we've got places time to dry it if you just hang it out on a tree or something or
Yeah.
out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Millie, can I just ask, is it customary to tip? Sorry, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I'm sure Brendan and Josie. Is it customary to tip them at the end? Do we?
Yes, it's not. Brendan and Josie, we got into a right mither about this, and it isn't Brendan and Josie, it's all their sub guides
Yeah.
that you want to tip. I mean, we treated Josie at the end. We did give her something and a little gift, but you've got Brendan and Josie, so I don't know what you. I don't know, but they're not expecting a tip.
Okay.
They're really not, but they're sub guides. That's a nice thing to do.
So, for example, when we do the Jungle Trek, I presume there's a separate guide for that. We would then
Yes.
tip.
Yes.
And
Okay.
what sort of amounts would you be paying in dollar equivalent?
I'm going to find out what
Okay.
the detail is.
Yeah.
As Claire knows, in Peru, we got in.
It was terrible.
It's terrible. And at the end, what we did, I think. Well, what I know we did is we had 2 guides, Santi and Gabriel, that were with us throughout the entire trip, and we all put in, I think we gave them all the equivalent of £30 each, $30 each. They think in dollars, so you've got to think in dollars when you're there. So we gave them all $30 each in local currency, and they were all thrilled with that. But I will confirm with Brendan.
Okay.
I have a question about power. So I'll take an adapter and all that, but the power, and it's a US. There's lots of power in all the hotels. We
Yeah.
don't have problems
Yeah. In the first
charging.
hotel in Barachara, there was plenty of power, but there wasn't at some nights there wasn't enough power to heat the hot water. So you do come across those types of things.
Phone versus hot water.
Yeah, you go to Colombia and you arrive at Bogota and you think, wow, this is a really swanky country. It's really got its kind of shit together. It's like, wow, this is great. And then you kind of move out into the outer parts and the hotels look great, but behind the scenes everything's a little bit rickety.
Yeah.
So it's shiny with a rickety kind of background. And when you get to Cartagena and you look up and you look at the wiring, you think, oh my God, I'm amazed we haven't exploded. The wiring is something to behold.
And things like security. So I'm debating, and this is very much a first world problem, whether to take an iPad because I have all my books on my iPad, for example. Would you advise against?
No, that would be absolutely fine.
Okay.
The security, the only time where I felt under pressure to look after my team was in Cartagena. That was the only time. and you really, if I'm going to say it, okay, I'm just going to say you really got to be vigilant when you're there. There are a lot of dodgy people who are ready to. You would not walk around with your phone in your hand. That would not last for more than 2 seconds. You would not. You're not to walk around by yourself or in a group of two. You'd walk around in a group of 4 minimum. There is an undercurrent in Cartagena, which you just got to be. I don't want you. You won't see it, but you got to be. I'm just telling you that it is there. So
So
you've got to be careful.
leave your rings at home.
Definitely leave your rings at home.
I was
When
going to
you
ask
go
about
out-
jewelry.
When you
Yeah.
go out in the evening, and you're moving from the Osh Hotel, which is super cool and super safe, and you're wandering through the streets to go to the old fort, okay, you're to be really vigilant and to go as a batch. If somebody says, "Oh, I want to go home," you're not going home by yourself. Okay, you're to walk, that walk. And Josie and Brendan, they know that area and they know how it works, and they know the scene. But that is the only time where you think, okay, I've got to have my wits about me here.
Presumably, you can leave the passport at the hotel. Yeah, so there's a safe in the hotel. So just, yeah, maybe not even take your phone with you, possibly.
Maybe not. So that when you go out in the evening, if somebody did want to take your bag, you could hand it over with joy. Yeah, just
Okay.
like that. No trouble. Take it. It's not, have it. Have a good evening. That's the attitude you've got to have. You're never going to fight back. It's not going to happen, but it does happen. The gappers, this is where they come unstuck in Cartagena. Us lot, they probably think, oh God, I'm not going to mess with that bunch. But it's just walking around alone at night, thinking, oh, I could just I'm tired of the bar, I want to go home now. You definitely do not walk alone in Cartagena. Everywhere else, Barachara, fully boots, that's easy. Okay.
Yep.
Wow, that's a bit of a downer to end the chat, isn't
Well,
it?
one more question for me. Sorry. Vaccinations. You kindly said there were 3, and I'm asking my doctor. Has anyone had any experience and stuff to share in terms of?
Yeah, I
I've
went to the my doctor's surgery, and I had typhoid, tetanus, and I could have had Hep A, but I was apparently already vaccinated. You can get that on the NHS. You just have to be persistent with your surgery, because these will say no, you've got to pay for it. Yellow fever you have to pay for, so I've got a clinic I'm going to go and get. I don't think we have to have that unless you want it, but I'm gonna have it because
On the internet
anyway, so I'm gonna do it.
On the internet, it says yellow fever is, mandatory to enter Tirona National Park, but it's not.
Oh, that's good.
But it is actually a very useful jab to have for going to South America. I think it is a useful one.
Recommended if you're over 60, though, the NHS nurse was saying to me, because it can have side effects, but I guess you need to figure that out. Yes.
Yeah.
But not recommended.
No.
Not recommended if you're over 60.
No.
Yeah.
Over 60.
That means
Okay, I have had
the actual
in my life.
vaccine.
Okay.
But you'd have to speak to them immediately and get their advice.
Mm.
Yeah.
You don't need it. The food, everything, it's all really good. The only thing that we all came unstuck with was with the water. Okay.
Good.
Any other questions, ladies?
Just a small one from me. I think I come in a different time to everyone on the Monday. Which hotel are we staying at in Bucaramanga?
Did you cancel your hotel that you booked?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Brendan has just hotel down the Carlton Hotel.
Carlton Hotel. And so I take a taxi to that.
No, we're going to pick you up.
Okay. Right, thank you.
And we've got single rooms for that night in the Carlton. We're
Yes.
paying for that ourselves.
Yes, you've all paid me for that, so that's
Oh,
absolutely.
have we? Okay.
Yeah.
have we?
I can't remember.
Yeah. So that's all been done and dusted.
Okay. Has it got a pool? Can we chill out there?
I would imagine so. Hotel Dan Carlton. I'll have a look.
All right.
I'm actually coming in on a Sunday. I think you said I was coming in the morning. I don't think I land until about 9 o'clock at night on the BA flight that goes via Madrid. I've done a little thing. Oh yeah, 5 to 9 arrives in the evening.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me just get up the flight info.
It's the Heathrow via Madrid.
Jude. Wait. I've got you arriving. Yes, you arrive. So you arrive in Bogota at 10 o'clock at night.
Yes. Stay at the Marriott, and in the morning.
And then
pick
the
us up
morning
at the hotel.
you fly in. You fly to Bucaramanga.
Right, I'm with you. So I thought you were talking about arriving in Bogota in the morning. I thought, no, don't. That's fine. So on the Monday morning, you pick us up from the hotel, take us back to Bogota Airport, and then we.
No, you're not. No, for those that are arriving in Bogota,
Yeah.
staying at the Marriott,
Yeah.
okay, you're going to come out and you're going to get a taxi.
Yeah.
Right there, a yellow taxi, and they'll drive you straight to the Marriott.
No, in the morning, on the Monday morning.
You arrive in Bucaramanga on the Tuesday.
So on the Sunday, I arrive in Bogota at 5 to 9 at night.
Right.
Stay at the Marriott that night because there's no flights to Bucaramanga on a Sunday night.
Okay. I'm going to look at your flight details again.
Okay.
I'll talk you through that.
Yeah, because I think I'll be a bit confused at there somehow.
Okay, so when this phone call's finished,
Yeah.
just stay on the line and we'll
Okay, that's
draw up
fine. Yeah, no one else needs to.
and get that straight.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember giving you my flight details, Millie, but it sounds like you've got them. I think I've got the same as Claire and Michelle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and there's one other person coming with us. I thought there
Yes.
were
Edie, I
four.
think.
Sorry?
That's me, I think. Is it on the Avianca flight? Is
On
it
the
Avianca
yeah, Claire,
from Heathrow?
Julia,
Yeah.
Edie, and Michelle.
There's 4 of us.
Edie, okay. Avianca is actually surprisingly nice.
It is.
It is, honestly. I was all set to prepare myself, National Airline of Peru, and it is surprisingly nice.
Yeah.
Mm.
The other thing I've done, if whoever's traveling with me might be interested, is I've booked the lounge on the way back at Bogota because we've got a 4 or 5 hour layover between coming back
Good idea.
from
Yeah.
Cartagena to Bogota before we get on the flight home to Heathrow. So I booked the lounge. It's like 30 quid or something.
That's
That's
really
good.
nice.
That's a good
That's
idea.
really nice. That's upstairs, isn't it, Claire? That was nice.
I did,
I did that on the Avianca
Avianca.
website.
Oh, okay. Oh, gosh, you're obviously very on it. I'll have a look.
I'm that sorry you'll learn that about me. I'm a very organised person.
Great.
Very.
You'll be in charge of the kitchen.
I was a project manager for many years. My
Oh.
Gantt charts, my timelines, and my plan.
Brilliant.
Millie,
I'm sticking with you, Michelle.
You can manage the kitty, everything.
Oh no, put all that pressure on me.
Millie, us 4 northern gals we arrive Bucaranga Tuesday morning, don't we? That's
Yes, we
you
do.
know that. Yeah, cool. Just checking.
But I'm just thinking about you guys and your money situation and the taxi. So maybe when you come out, when you're collecting your luggage, this is just the northern girls. When you're collecting your luggage at Bogota, there are a sequence of ATMs all lined up on the side. Maybe one of you just gets a little bit of cash out there to pay for that taxi to get you to the Marriott.
Can we not order some Colombian stuff here before we go?
Yeah,
I'm
you
sure if
can
we went
do.
to the post office, we could. I might just order 100 quid's worth or something just to
Okay.
have it.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
a
do
good
that.
Probably a
idea.
good idea.
Now, when
yeah.
you're in that taxi, it's going to drive you straight past the Marriott, and you're going to think, Marriott, where have you gone? Where's he taking me? I'm taking me into the whole, oh my God, I'm being abducted. I'm going into deep, darkest Bogota. You're not. It's the only way he has to go. Even though the Marriott is 2 seconds from the airport, the road has to go miles out to come back to get onto the other side of the road.
That's worth knowing.
Yeah. So don't panic when you're heading west and the hotel's just on the east. Okay.
Exciting. We're excited.
Yeah. So I'll set up a WhatsApp with Josie and Brendan the week before you go, so that they're in contact with you. Josie will come and find you, the people that arrive on Monday. She'll come and find you, and you'll be in safe hands.
It's just one thing. Sorry, I meant to ask. I'm sure we've probably done it, but I can't remember. Do you have our next of kin details? Have we given you all that information, like in case of emergencies? Have we had to do something? I can't. Sorry.
No. I will just ask Zoe about that. And food issues and allergies.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And our travel insurance is all fairly, we just need to get that organised. That's fairly standard, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty standard. There's nothing.
Nothing, yeah, not like Peru.
Not like Peru.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Fantastic.
ladies.
Sounds amazing.
So that's that. You're in for an adventure. Busy.
That's great.
Busy little bees you're going to be. No time for city downies in Colombia. No, I promise we have slotted in a couple of hours here and there for you to have a city down, especially when you get to the beach phase. There will be city downy rewards.
And there are 12 of us all together?
12, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Great.
Right.
Okay.
So you know where I am if you've got any questions, and I will keep, if there's anything I need to kind of add, I will just add them to the itinerary, any last minute thoughts. In fact, I'll create a page at the itinerary, last minute thoughts, and I'll just add stuff there so that you can see it. So it's alive. Okay.
Lovely.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much. It looks
you.
very exciting.
Thank you, Millie.
Mm.
Pleasure.
Amazing, the whole thing.
Happy shopping, girls. You remember, I ended up carrying a lot of stuff for a lot of midlifers, and by the end of it, I had literally downy face. So whatever you buy, you've got to carry. Remember that.
But who knows?
Can we send a shipping container home
Yeah.
if we do one together?
The shopping. The thing I would highly recommend is buying the placemat, the table mats. They are really amazing. And we did our research. So a table mat out there costs, oh my God, £1 in Barichara. And that Colombian website, which sells stuff here, sells the same for about 60 quid.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's why we really want to start importing stuff for Marguerite's Empowerment Centre, because actually there is the demand if they can get the design right.
Mhm.
And all the schools, Downhouse School, they are, taking it on board to sell stuff from the projects around the world. So it's good. All right, ladies.
Right.
Brilliant.
thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
See you all.
Good.
Good to
Bye-bye.
see everyone.
See you in
Take care.
Colombia.
Yeah.
Say
See you
hello.
soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Ems,
I'll
you.
stay here.
Okay, Ems, you stay there. Jude. Okay, Ems, I'll call you back. I'll call you back later. in a
All right,
minute.
my love.
All right.
Bye.
You stay on. You stay on. You stay on. I'm going to